what if I told you the future of the entire global food industry isn't in a grocery store? Nope, it's right there, inside your phone. Today, we're unlocking the 2026 playbook for how food and beverage brands are turning simple, viral videos into a massive global sales empire, all on TikTok Shop. I mean, seriously, remember the dances? It feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? Well, you can forget about that TikTok. It's gone. Today, it's a giant global tasting table where one single scroll can turn into a cross-border feast. And this is completely changing how we discover, buy, and even taste food. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to kick things off with the sheer scale of the opportunity. Then we'll peek behind the curtain at the AI recipe that's driving all this growth. We'll look at real brands that went from viral to retail, talk about the spicy hurdles you're going to face, and then wrap it all up with a playbook you can actually use. Okay, let's dive right in with the big picture, the global tasting table. This is so much more than just advertising. What we're seeing is a massive shift where your social feed has literally become the entire marketplace. Just look at this number. By 2026, we're talking about almost 7 cents of every single dollar spent on TikTok Shop being on food and drinks. That is a colossal piece of the pie, and it's being fueled by everyone from tiny niche bakeries to the biggest snack brands on the planet. But here's the thing, and this is crucial. You cannot use the same recipe everywhere. This slide just lays out the cultural split perfectly. Over in Asia, it's all about community. It's about education. Think live streams that really break down complex flavors. But in the US, it's a game of speed. It's all about rave reviews and those instant buy now triggers. If you want to win, you have to be fluent in both of these languages. So how does this all actually work? I promise you, it is not random. Let's get into the AI growth recipe. Because behind every single viral food trend, there's a ridiculously powerful tech engine, and it's all built around one key concept, OMO. So the most important thing to get your head around is OMO, which stands for Online Merge Offline. This is TikTok's core strategy. It's all about making sure that a viral video you see online directly pushes you to buy a product in a physical store. It creates this powerful, seamless loop between your phone and the real world. And the engine making this happen is the GMV Max AI. GMV standing for Gross Merchandise Value, basically the total value of everything sold. Now, this AI has 3 main jobs. First, it completely ignores vanity metrics like clicks and instead hunts for actual revenue by finding people who are ready to buy right now. Second, if a video starts to pop off, the AI automatically blasts it across the entire platform. And third, during those huge sales events, it intelligently just pours gasoline on the fire, scaling budgets up to maximize that buying frenzy. But, does it work? Oh yeah, the proof is right here in the numbers. This chart is just staggering. Food and beverage brands are seeing a 3 to 8 times return on their investment. That means for every single dollar they put in, they could be getting up to $8 back. That is the power of letting an AI find your perfect customer. So what does this look like in the real world? Let's talk benchmarks. First off, for live streams, that budget sweet spot is somewhere between $200 and $2,000 a day. Next, to track your sales rate, you need a super tight 24-hour window. Anything longer and the data just gets messy. And here's the part that's going to blow your mind. To hit 10 million in sales, you need to think at a crazy scale. We're talking 10,000 videos a month. It is a massive numbers game. Okay, so that's the theory, that's the tech. But let's look at some real-world examples. Let's talk about brands that have used this exact playbook to get some pretty incredible results. You probably saw this one. Take Skittles Popped. This was a freeze-dried candy thing that they launched exclusively on TikTok Shop. The hype from all those viral unboxing videos was so huge that it literally catapulted the product from just a social media trend into a nationwide retail hit. And this right here is the perfect example of OMO in action. The Taiwanese dumpling chain Din Tai Fung used its viral fame not just to sell stuff online, but to drive actual physical lines out the door at its 17 US locations day after day after day. That is digital buzz turning into real-world cash. And this also shows you the power of just being real. The founders of Sauces, they used their genuine cultural story to connect with people, and they sold millions in cooking kits because of it. It just proves you don't need some massive corporate brand. You need a real story that people connect with across borders. And here is the financial payoff for a great OMO strategy. When brands start integrating features like online ordering for in-store pickup, they see, on average, a 30% boost in their average order value. And why is that? It's simple. Because once you get customers in the door, they are way more likely to buy even more stuff.
Okay, but it is not all smooth sailing. Not at all. To really make it, you have to be realistic about the operational nightmares. So let's talk about the spicy truth behind those big revenue numbers.
So here's the big question, right? With all the rules, the insane logistics, the cultural minefields, how do you actually survive and thrive on this platform without getting shut down? Believe me, the hurdles are real. The platform has incredibly strict product approvals. If you're selling anything perishable, the logistics are a total nightmare. You have to navigate completely different cultural and regulatory standards, like halal versus FDA. And any tiny logistical slip-up can get you banned, all while you're trying to absorb hidden taxes on your shipments. So, how do you get ahead of all this? First, get your certifications. FDA, halal, whatever you need, get them before you even think about applying. It'll save you from weeks, maybe even months of delays. Second, stick to shelf-stable stuff like snacks. They are twice as likely to succeed, and you get to skip all those cold chain headaches. And finally, label everything perfectly. The algorithm actually rewards it. And on the logistics front, the strategy is crystal clear. You have to use local third-party logistics partners to meet TikTok's crazy strict 24-hour shipping scan rule. Do not rely on slow overseas shipping. And most importantly, price your product with a healthy 30% margin right from the start, because trust me, you're going to need it to absorb all those hidden duties and taxes.
Okay, let's bring this all home. Here is your final playbook, the 3 most important metrics you absolutely need to be tracking to know if your strategy is actually working.
All right, write these down. These are the 3 numbers that matter most. First, engagement velocity. You want to aim for over 3%. This is how you know the algorithm loves you. Second, your video to checkout rate. You need 8 to 12% of the people watching to actually buy. This is proof that your content is actually converting. And finally, your cross-border GMV growth. You have got to be growing by more than 50% year over year. That is the number that tells you your global expansion is working. And that really leaves us with one last thought. In 2026, winning on TikTok Shop isn't going to be just about moving product. The brands that truly win will be the ones that use food to translate trends, flavors, and stories across borders. The ones that realize they're not just selling a snack, they're starting a global conversation.